The archipelago of the Canary Islands is formed by 7 main islands and several small ones. It lies between the parallels 27 degrees north and 30 degrees west, with a subtropical nature. Its location at an intersection of currents makes its sea an area brimming with life, with a vast range of marine species. The island of El Hierro is the most western of the Canary Islands and one of the most oceanic. With an area of 278 square kilometers and 107 kilometers of coastline, it is also the smallest in the archipelago. It has a rugged coastline of great beauty, with sheer cliffs sheltering a number of pebble beaches. Waters are between 1 to 2 degrees warmer than the rest of the archipelago, reaching in summer a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. This fact has a significant influence on the biological population and explains the presence of numerous tropical species. Another peculiarity is its crystal clear waters, which allow a high penetration of light. In the year 2000, the island was declared a biosphere reserve by the UNESCO, thus favoring the sustainability of its development. The Canary Islands have several marine reserves, one of them to the south of El Hierro, la Reserva Marina de Punta de la Restinga, Mar de las Calmas. It is a unique spot where the ocean and the earth meet in harmony, sheltered from the trade winds and with shores bathed by calm waters, justifying its name, El Mar de las Calmas. In the mid-90s, the fishing sector, aware of the need to protect the marine resources, first promoted the creation of this marine fisheries reserve, as the benevolence of the sea conditions all year round could end in an overfishing. With just over 7 square kilometers and a coastline of 21 kilometers, it is a small reserve, but of a great biological, ecological and social importance, in a key position, protected from the prevailing trade winds and exposed to the influence of sea currents. Volcanic outflows have shaped the rugged coastline, with bays and rocks, outcrops of volcanic rock. Along the coastline, on the eastern limit of the reserve, we must highlight the tiny village of La Restinga, an originally traditional fishing village which today has become an important center for tourism and leisure. To the west of the marine reserve stands the Orchilla lighthouse, built in 1933. In the past, this place was considered to be the end of the earth and where the prime meridian was established. El Charco de Tacoron, located to the west of La Restinga, is a leisure area on the shores of the reserve where locals and visitors enjoy bathing in the Atlantic. As in the rest of the island, the reserve platform is a small one, reaching great depths near the coast. Even so, this has given rise to a great variety of biotopes such as rocky seabeds, mixed seabeds of rock and sand, caves, low sands, and sloping areas. The seabeds are above all rocky and irregular, although there are some areas with sandy substratum which are home to species that have adapted, such as the common stingray, spiny butterfly rays, Atlantic lizardfish, early razorfish, as well as an extensive population of Atlantic garden eels. The absence of rocky seabeds without vegetation, inhabited predominantly by the long-spined sea urchin diadema, is a most singular aspect of this marine reserve, a sign of the good health of the marine ecosystem. Without this deadly enemy, rocky seabeds are densely coated in algae, especially brown seaweed. Also, red algae such as the Asparagopsis are frequently found. On some occasions they form curious mats, giving the sensation of mist on the ocean floor where Lophocladia grows. Endemic algae can also be seen, for example, this Sebdenia, which can only be found in the Macronesic region. The crystal clear waters of El Hierro Marine Reserve mean that the light penetrates to a great depth, and that the mat of algae reaches 60 to 70 meters. At this depth, light starts to fail as well as the mat of algae, whereas colonies of black coral thrive, reaching in many cases heights of 1 meter. It is a millennial species according to studies carried out on cuts on the coral branches. As opposed to well-illuminated habitats, we can find there these organisms which are adapted to living at depths where light is poor or non-existent. Lava, when flowing out to sea, has led to the formation of numerous caves and hollows, in many occasions with fairy forms and figures crowned by skylights or cracks through which the rays of lights appear to be dancing to the rhythm of the water. The populations found in this habitat are highly peculiar and sensitive to any kind of alteration. In the caves of the reserve, we must highlight the colonies of brachiopods, small sessile creatures that cover the walls. In this environment, we can find authentic treasures of the Canary marine fauna. The brown spiny lobster finds its ideal hideaway here. They can be seen greeting us, with their antennae sticking out from their hiding place. This species, excessively sought after in the western islands of the archipelago, has suffered a significant reduction in its population, having found in the marine reserve a haven to survive, as can be seen by the numerous specimens inhabiting here. Another dweller of the caves is the spotfin burrfish, a timid fish which spends most of the day hiding away in small hollows. Although it is not the target species of any fishing catch, the spotfin burrfish has been frequently caught accidentally or for ornamental purposes, having disappeared from many areas of the Canary coastline. However, in this marine reserve, we can find a significant population. It is a species of great ecological interest since it helps to control the populations of long-spined sea urchins. The fishing fleet in these waters is made up of small fishing boats. The activity carried out is that characteristic of inshore fishing, aimed at catching demersal resources along the coast and the sea floor, as well as coastal and oceanic pelagic species. In line with the philosophy of protecting fishing stocks, industrial and spearfishing are activities forbidden in the waters of the marine reserve. The parrotfish is one of the target species of this type of fishing. It is a highly prolific fish that breeds several times a year and lays a large number of eggs. The males are grey in colour, however during the mating season their black spots are contrasted more intensely than ever against the whitish-grey colour of their skin, whilst the females show their reddish-coloured skin with yellow and grey spots. A fishing method exclusive to the island of El Hierro is the one called pouillon fishing. In order to carry it out, fishermen must go into the sea wearing flippers and goggles, carrying fishing tackle with hooks baited with certain crab species with which they entice the specimens that they wish to catch. It is a highly selective method of fishing at the same time as it is effective, since it allows fishermen to catch only the large specimens. When migratory pelagic species pass through these waters and the sea conditions are suitable, they become the target of the fishing fleet. Traditional fishing methods are used for catching wahoo and tuna. In these circumstances, the fishing pressure exerted on coastal species is notably reduced, meaning a positive period of rest for these stocks. Tuna fishing is highly efficient, significant volumes of catches being obtained in a short period of time. However, it is a very irregular resource, subject to the changing sea conditions and the activities of the fleets fishing in international waters. To the southwest of the port of La Restinga, a few hundred meters off the coast, stands El Bajón de la Restinga. It is a solid rock formed by two humps with sheer faces falling to depths of 10 to 80 meters. The whole place is swarming with life. The upper parts are covered with mats of fleshy algae where scribbled filefish and parrotfish can be frequently seen. Its walls, covered with multicolored sponges of many shapes and sizes, produce a unique chromatic contrast. However, the greatest attraction of El Bajón is the fish population inhabiting the area. The following pelagic species can be found here. The shallowest waters of El Bajón are permanent home to a school of Bermuda sea chubs. Sometimes you may spot a yellow one standing out from the rest of the shoal, the exact reason to why they change color being unknown. A new day fills the water with chemical substances and frenzy breaks out amidst the shoal of Bermuda sea chubs. The females are ready to spawn. In a synchronized manner, the males spread at the same time the sperm that, in the form of white clouds, will fecundate the eggs deposited by the females. El Bajón also attracts yellowmouth barracuda that, with their streamlined shapes, look like spears darting through the deep blue sea. Other inhabitants of these waters are saddled sea breams and greater amberjacks. Closer to the rocky seafloor, numerous shoals of sea breams can be found with the presence of 3 species: the white sea bream, the common 2-banded sea bream, and the zebra sea bream. The latter, at some times of the year, can be found in hundreds in the waters surrounding El Bajon, seduced perhaps by this impressive promontory. In the hollows of the rock walls, large morays and bacalados morays that peacefully look on as these shrimps carry on with their cleaning work. Dusky groupers can be easily spotted swimming majestically around as if they owned the place. A fine example of their curiosity is this one that is looking at its reflection in a small air bubble. On some occasions, depending on the sea current, at dusk, ocean triggerfish gather in thousands on the protected side of El Bajon, an extraordinary display of marine nature. They probably seek in the vastness of the ocean a rock for spending the night, safe from predators. Another activity carried out in the marine reserve is that of scuba diving, which over the last few years has become more widespread thanks to the support of El Hierro Town Council, there currently being a dozen authorized centers. The transparency and warmth of the waters, apart from their fascinating marine biodiversity, have turned this area into an ideal holiday destination for divers from all over the world. Diving activities are always carried out through one of the authorized centers. Divers are taken by boat to the permitted diving points, indicated by diving buoys for greater safety and protection of the marine bottoms. We must emphasize the good level of collaboration existing between the companies in the sector and the Marine Reserve authorities. Another interesting aspect of the Marine Reserve lies in the beauty of its landscapes, which disappear away into the deep blue horizon. There are numerous diving opportunities along the whole coast, in places that show the force of the marine life swarming in these waters. We're talking about El Rincón, La Punta del Muelle, La Herradura, Las Cañas, or El Desierto, amongst others, which will delight the most demanding of divers. Diving near the edge of a vertical rock face which drops straight down to the deep sea abyss, swimming through a natural arch or a forest of black coral are unforgettable experiences not to be missed. It sometimes happens that, in certain points, in a capricious way, large numbers of Atlantic cornetfish gather. When they do so, they look as if they were suspended in the water. Their abundance around the island of El Hierro, and in particular in the Marine Reserve, shows the tropical nature of these waters. Atlantic cornetfish are skilled predators. They may be frequently seen hiding behind a rock or coral, awaiting their prey. When a fish approaches, they pounce at it, opening their jaws to swallow it up, although the choice of prey is not always the most appropriate one. If you are lucky, you might see a moray of very timid nature, the honeycomb moray. It is a small tropical creature which is rarely and not easily seen. An important objective of the Marine Reserve is the protection of its fishing and shellfish stocks, in order to maintain the balance between their commercial use and their conservation. Another of its aims is the protection of the marine biodiversity, which allows the development and the recovery of rare or threatened species in other areas of the island and the archipelago, as has occurred with the spiny lobster, the Mediterranean locust lobster, the spotfin burrfish, and the honeycomb moray. The attainment of these important objectives has resulted in a zoning of the reserve waters and seafloor in areas with different levels of protection. Therefore, 3 types of areas have been established: the integral reserve area, the area of restricted use, and the area of general use. The integral reserve area enjoys the maximum level of protection. Here, the catching of tuna fish is only permitted for professional fishermen and duly authorized scientific research. This area is located in the Bay of Naos, and it is the heart of the Marine Reserve. In the middle of the bay is La Gabara, a place where there is a small wreckage of a vessel that was used to build the old jetty of La Restinga. Today, it is used as an artificial reef. Around this point, many species can be found, such as this shoal of gwelly jacks, whilst below them others take refuge, for example, dusky groupers, barred hogfish, cornetfish, or the odd Mediterranean locust lobster. During the summer months, ocean triggerfish and grey triggerfish come to the sandy seafloor of the integral reserve to reproduce. They make small holes in the sand in which to deposit their eggs. Both the males and females take care of the eggs and are on the lookout for potential intruders. This Caboso Thompson that has invaded the reserve seabed over the past years is a highly territorial species that quickly hides away beneath stones at the least sign of danger. Various caves can be found around La Gabara where species, such as these Atlantic horse mackerel of tropical origin, can be spotted, although not very frequently. At a depth of 35 meters, a group of black coral forms this small hanging garden on the ceiling of the cave, known as Cueva del Fraile, like a small sanctuary, which is disturbed by our indiscreet lights. It is in the integral reserve where we will find the widest range of species of fish of the Marine Reserve. It is also here that we will find the larger species. These reproductive specimens are real genetic reserves, producing large quantities of young fish that migrate toward the other areas of the reserve and island, thus contributing to enrich them. The Marine Reserve has an administration office which provides information to visitors and issues the corresponding permits. The Visitors Center is in the same building where information on different aspects of the Marine Reserve can be obtained, thus contributing to the task of developing and disseminating the biological, ecological and ethnographical values related with the reserve. The tasks of planning and managing the marine reserve are shared by the General Secretariat for Maritime Fishing and the Sub-Department of Fisheries of the Government of the Canary Islands. Both authorities collaborate with each other in order to ensure success. A fundamental activity in the management of the marine reserve is that of surveillance. It is a task of great importance for the conservation of stocks. The Marine Reserve de Punta de la Restinga Mar de las Calmas is a place where traditional fishermen, divers and visitors can each carry out their activity in harmony with marine nature. A present reality which looks toward the future.